Okay guys, welcome to this longish video looking at a Key Stage 4 question bank, okay, a PowerPoint presentation for revision on fractions, decimals and percentages, okay, and it's from the White Rose Maths, okay, so this is a White Rose Maths PowerPoint, okay, and it's designed for students, doing GCSE higher and foundation to revise, okay, in preparation for their upcoming GCSE exams, okay, but this is also appropriate revision for even Key Stage 2 SAT students, okay, and anyone that is doing internal assessments in Key Stage 3, okay, so students in year 7, year 8, year 9 and even year 10, this will be appropriate revision, okay. We will start with the first question. Write down the fraction of the rectangle that is shaded. Give your answer in its simplest form. Okay, again, it's a typical GCSE foundation tier exam style question. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's going to equal to 4/12. Dividing top and bottom by 4, I get the answer of 1/3. Okay, so 4/12 simplifies to 1/3. Okay, so when it says give your answer in its simplest form, you must simplify your fraction. Okay, so get in the habit, guys, of simplifying your fractions fully where possible. Okay, or where required. So third, okay, this next one, write down the fraction of the rectangle that is shaded, give your answer in its simplest form. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 by 3. Okay, so it's going to be out of 15, so 9/15. Dividing top and bottom by 3, and I get the answer of 3/5. Okay, and again, it's practicing knowing your highest common factors of numbers when you simplify fractions. So your final answer for this question is equal to 3/5. Okay, so 5/5. Okay, express each fraction as a decimal. Okay, so 1/4. Okay, if I'm not sure, that means 1 divided by 4. And again, I can do like a little bus stop method to the side if I'm not too sure. Okay, I'm going to put a decimal point. I'm going to put some zeros. Okay, so 4 into 1 I cannot do. So I'm going to put a 0. Okay, and then carry this 1. Okay, into this next section. 4s into 10 go twice. Okay, with 2 left over. 4s into 20 go 5 times. So 1/4 as a decimal is 0.25. Okay, but hopefully at this stage when you're revising, you would have already known that to be the answer. But this is a way of obviously getting your answer in case you ever forget your FDP conversion. So FDP meaning fraction decimal percentages conversions. Okay, 3/4 is going to be 3 lots of that, which is 0.75. Okay, but again, if you're not too sure, okay, I can do 0.25 multiply by 3 to the side. Okay, and again, there's no harm in showing your full workings. Okay, 5 3s are going to be 15, so 5 carry the 1. 3 2s are going to be 6, plus the 1 is going to equal 7. And I'm going to put a decimal point there. 3 lots of 0, it's going to equal to 0. So that's going to be 0.75 or 0.75. Okay, 3/5. Okay, well, 1/5 is 0.2. So it's going to be 0.6 for that one, okay? But again, if you're not too sure, I can do 3 divided by 5. Okay, remember that line there means a division. Okay, 3 divided by 5. Okay, 5 into 3 I can't do. Okay, and then I'm going to put a decimal point. Okay, I'm going to put a 0 and then carry the 3. 5s into 30 go 6 times. Okay, so the answer is 0.6. Okay, but again, I'm assuming that if you're watching this, it is more of a revision and a revisiting. But this is how to get your answer in case you've forgotten the way to convert between a fraction, decimal, percentage. And again, there are multiple different ways to work out my answer, okay? I could have changed it out of hundredths or out of tenths to make it a bit easier, okay? But again, there is more than one way to work out your answer, okay? There's no harm doing it either way, okay, or whichever way, provided that you're showing your full work. Okay, this next part, express each percentage as a fraction. Percentage means out of 100, so that's going to be 29 hundredths. That's going to equal to 15 hundredths, okay? The word percent means per 100, and 1% is going to be 1 hundredths, okay? Now this one does actually simplify, so I can divide top and bottom by 5, and I get 3/20ths, okay? But the question here doesn't actually say simplify, okay? But there's no harm in doing it for good practice, okay? The other two, yeah, don't actually simplify because there are no common factors yet between 29 and 100, and there's no common factors yet between 1 and 100. Obviously, yeah, excluding 1, okay? Okay, express each fraction as a percentage. So this first one here is nice and easy. That'll be 13%. Okay, because it's out of 100. This one, I'm going to write it out of 100 to make it a bit easier by multiplying top and bottom by 10. So I get 90 hundredths. Okay, so multiply top and bottom by 10. Okay, which is equal to 90%. 1/5. Okay, write it out of even tenths you could do, okay? So times top and bottom by 2, so I get 2/10, okay? And then hopefully you're happy with that will be equal to 20 hundredths, okay? Times it again by 10, okay? I could have actually times it by 20 in one go, but I thought, yeah, I'll take it in steps, okay? Which is equal to 20%. Okay, remember that percentage means out of 100, guys, okay? There's your answer. Express each percentage as a fraction in its simplest form. Okay, so 60% will be 60 hundredths, 60 out of 100, which simplifies to 3/5. Okay, divide top and bottom by 20, okay, which is the highest common factor between 60 and 100. Okay, 36% or 36% is going to be 36 hundredths, which simplifies to 18/50ths. Divide top and bottom by 2, and then because they're both even again, I can divide it by 2 again, and I get 9 out of 45. Okay, for that one. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake here. I apologize. Actually, sorry, it should be 18/50ths, not 18/90ths. I did say 18/50ths, sorry, yeah, in my speech, but I wrote down actually 90 instead, so apologies. So that's going to be 9/25ths. Because I was running it there for a second, that I was going to get a different answer. 12.5%, that'd be 12.5 out of 100. Now this one here is a bit more tricky because it's not as obvious. This actually simplifies to 1/8. Okay, if I divide top and bottom by 12.5, I get the answer of 1/8. Okay, so that one's here is not as immediately obvious. Okay, but if you weren't sure, then I could have timed top and bottom by 10, so I get 125th out of 1,000, 125 thousandths. And then from there, I can start simplifying by dividing by 5, okay, and seeing how far I go. Okay, but essentially, yeah, dividing top and bottom of this by 125 gives us 1/8, okay, for that one. Okay. So the next part, so it's finding percentages of amounts now. So find 50% of each of the amounts. So 50% means that I divide it by 2. Okay, 120 divided by 2 is going to be 60. Okay, 45 divided by 2 is going to be 22.5 or 22.5. And 0.8 divided by 2 or a half of 0.8 is going to be 0.4. Okay, so make sure that you remember in your exam, guys, that 50% of any quantity, okay, of X I'll put, okay, just means the number divided by 2. Okay, you're always halving it. Okay, you're always halving it. Okay, for that one. Okay, there we go. Okay, find 35% of each amount of each of the amounts. Okay, so slightly more trickier. So I'm going to start by working out what 10% is. Okay, I'm then going to work out what 25% is. Okay, and then I'm going to add my answers together. So 10% of any quantity, I divide it by 10, and 25% of any quantity, I divide it by 4. So first of all, 300. Okay, so 300 divided by 10 is going to be 30, and 300 divided by 4 is going to equal to 75. Adding your answers together, okay, I get the answer of 105 for that one. This next one, to work out 10% of 64, so I'm going to divide it by 10, so I get 6.4. And to work out 25%, I'm going to divide it by 4, so half it and then half it again, 32, and then half of 32 is going to be 16. Okay, adding your answers together, I get 4 there. The decimal point lines up. 6.6 is going to equal to 12. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So the answer you get is 22.4. Okay, this next one, okay, is slightly more challenging. So 10% of 17.5, okay, will be 1.75. So decimal point moves one place to the left when I'm dividing by 10, okay, and now I want to work out 25%, okay, by dividing it by 4. And again, I can just do like a little bus stop method, okay. So 4s into 1 I can't do. 4s into 17 go 4 times with 1 left over. 4s into 15 go 3 times with 3 left over. 4s into 30 go 7 times with 2 left over. And 4s into 20 go 5 times. So it is going to be 4.375. Okay, and I'm going to write it in this way so the place values are lined up correctly when I'm going to add it. Okay, so adding these together, I'm going to put a 0 there. 0 plus 5 is going to be 5. 5 plus 7 goes to 12. So 2, carry the 1. That's going to go to 11. Okay, carry the 1. Okay, 7 plus 3 is 10. Plus 1 is going to be 11. 1 plus 4 is 5. Plus 1 is going to be 6. So the answer is 6.125. Okay, and that's how I work out 35%, okay, of a quantity. Okay, so I worked out 10%, I worked out 25%, and then added my answers together. Okay, 10% of any quantity, okay, write this down, guys, okay, in your notepad or revision guide. You divide it by 10. Okay, and 25% of any quantity, okay, you divide it by 4. Okay, 50% you always divide by 2. Okay, and then the other one to remember is 1%. 1% of any quantity means I divide it by 100. Okay, for that. So there are your answers. Oh, I think I made a mistake here on this one here. So 10% would equal to 1.75. Okay, and then 25%, yeah, would obviously be a quarter of that. Okay, so I think, yeah, it is. So this and this are correct. Okay, this one, let's double check it. 0.5. I'll put some zeros. So divide that by 4. 4's into 1, I can't do. 4's into 17, go 4 times with 1 left over. 4's into 15, go 3 times, which goes to 15. Remainder 3. 4's into 30, go 7 times with 2 left over. Okay, because 4 7 is going to be 28. And then 28, yeah, plus a 2 equals 30. And 4 5s. Okay, so it's going to be 4.375. Okay, so I think, yeah, there's a mistake, yeah, in the white rose maths. Okay, but that's fine. Okay, because everyone makes mistakes. 5 there. That's going to be 12. Carry the 1. That's going to be 11. Okay, so the correct answer here should be 6.125. Okay, not 3.5. Okay, for that one. Okay, so that is incorrect. This next one, find 92.5% share of these amounts. Okay, so it's a bit more trickier, this one. Okay, because I've got to work out, yeah, 2.5% here, or 0.5%. So I'm going to work out 10%. Okay, I'm then going to work out 90% by times the answer by 9. I'm then going to work out what 1% is. And then I'm going to multiply the answer here by 2.5, okay, which is a bit more demanding. And then I'm going to add the answer to this with the answer to this. Okay, so these two boxes will give me the answer that I need. Okay, so first of all, 10% of 150 is going to be 15. 15 lots of 9 will be 135. Because 10 lots of 15 is 150, so you take off 15 from 150 and you get 135. 1% will equal to 1.5. Okay, divided by 100. And then 2.5, yeah, if I just times this by 2.5. Okay, I'm just going to ignore this point next year, but it's approximately 2 times 3 years, so it's approximately, so yes, so the answer should be close to 6. Okay, yeah, it's going to be 5 point something. 5 hours a year is going to be 25, so 5, carry the 2. 5 times 1 is going to be 5 plus the 2 is going to be 7. I'm going to put a 0 there. 2 5 is going to be 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 1 is going to be 2 plus 1 is going to equal 3. Adding my answers together, I'm going to get 5, 7, 3. Decimal point is going to go here. So 3.75. So adding my answers together, okay, yeah, it's a bit more trickier. It's going to be 138.75. Okay, this next one, I'm going to work out 10% first. So 10% is going to equal to 480. Okay, divide it by 10. 90% will be 9 lots of 480. Okay. So if I just take off 480 here from 4,800, okay, to make it a bit easier for me. That's going to be 0. That I can't do, so I need to borrow. 10 take away 8 is 2. 7 take away 4 is 3. And I've got 4 there. So 90% is going to be 4,320. 1% will equal to 48. Okay. 0.5% will equal to a half of that. It's going to be 24. Okay. So now I'm going to do this plus two lots of this and then plus this. So I'm going to have 4,320 plus 96 because I'm adding on 2%. Okay, so two lots of 1% is going to be 2%. So add 96 and then add the 24, and that will give us our final answer. 0 plus 6 is going to be 6, plus the 4 is going to be equal to 10. 0 carry the 1, should be a 0, sorry. So that's going to be 4, 13, 14. Carry the 1. 3 plus 1 is going to be 4, and I'm going to have a 4 there. So your final answer, okay, is 4,440. Okay, so that is a bit trickier. Okay, This next one, I'm going to work out what 10% is, which is 0.73. I'm now going to work out what 1% is, which is going to be 0.073. So I now want to work out, okay, a half a percent. So another 1% will give me 0.073. And then if I half this, okay, I'm going to be a bit sneaky and do it on my calculator here, because yeah, it's going to just take too much of my time. Actually, so sorry to sound a bit picky there. Okay, so working this out on my calculator, okay, so 0.073 divide that by 2 is 0.0365. Okay, for that one, so that's going to equal to 0.5%. And again, sorry for doing it on my calculator, guys. It's just to save me a bit more time. Okay, because hopefully you're happy with the actual technique part. Okay, because I don't want to like spending hours here doing like a sum. Okay, and now I've got to work out 90%. So 90%, okay, we're near there, is going to be 9 lots of this, or take off 0.73 from that. So if I take off 0.73, I'm going to be very careful here when I do this, actually, guys. That's going to go to 2, that's going to go to 10. 10 take away 3 is going to be 7. 2 take away 7 I can't do, so I need to borrow. That becomes a 6, that goes to a 12. 12 take away 7 goes to 5. And 6 take away 0, okay, it should be a 0 there, okay, is 6. It's going to be 6.57, so we're nearly there, guys. Okay, apologies for taking so long here. Okay, so it's going to be this, plus this, plus this, and then plus this. Okay, and again, I'm going to do this on my calculator, okay, to save me a bit of time, okay. So working this out, guys, okay. So working this out on my calculator, I get as follows. So I get a final answer of 6.7525, okay. Now that one's a pretty nasty one actually, and they aren't going to ask you that in the exam, okay. But the idea here was the actual maths and technique behind it, okay. But again, there are like multiple different ways here to obviously get your answer, okay. But that's the answer for that question, okay. And here is the White Rose maths answers to double. So we got the answers there, okay, for that one, okay. Okay, so this question, write these as fractions in their simplest form. So 12%, so that'll be 12 hundredths, so 12 out of 100. Okay, divide the top and bottom by 4, and I get 3/25. Okay, for that one. So that's a fraction in its simplest form. Okay, percent means out of 100, so percentage means out of 100. So percent, so per 100, so out of 100. and then I've divided top and bottom by 4, okay, to simplify that fraction. This next one, 0.08. Well, if you look at the place value, this is my units column, this is my tenths column, okay, so I'll label it as U for units, this first one, okay, that'll be my tenths column, and that'll be my hundredths column, so hundredths, okay, so that'll be 8 hundredths, okay, 8 out of 100, okay, dividing top and bottom by 4, I get 2 25ths. Okay, so dividing that by 4 and dividing this by 4. Okay, for that one. Okay, so they're the White Rose Maths answers. Write these as improper fractions in their simplest form. 135%, that'll be 135 out of 100, okay? And this is what I refer to as a top-heavy fraction or an improper fraction. Now I can divide top and bottom by 5, okay? Again, working this out, so taking our time, that'll be out of 20, and I don't know what the top is, so I'm going to do a short division here to the side using bus stop. 5s into 1 go 0, 5s into 13 go twice, with 3 left over, 5s into 35 goes 7. So it's going to be 27 20ths. Now they don't have any more common factors, so I can't go any further. So that'll be my answer for that question. For this one, it's recognizing that 2.5 is same as saying 2.5 as a mixed number, which is same as saying 5 halves as an improper fraction, okay, or a top-heavy fraction. Okay, the 5 has come from 2 times 2, so it's the denominator times the whole number and then plus the numerator. So follow the arrows, guys. So I'm multiplying here, and then I'm going to be adding my answer, okay, with the numerator. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus the 1 makes the 5. So that's where the 5 has come from, okay. White Rose Maths answers. Complete the table. Okay, so we've got a fraction decimal percentage table. Okay, so 10%, 0.1. As a fraction, that'll be 1/10 in its simplest form, okay, or 10 hundredths. Okay, now it doesn't actually specify here that actually simplify fully. Okay, so examiners will allow, okay, any equivalent fraction here with 1/10. Okay, 1/10, 2 20ths, 3 30ths, okay, etc. etc. Okay, because it doesn't actually specify here. Okay, so yeah, there is no reason to be penalized. Okay, but just to be on the safe side, I would simplify it, especially yeah, if you're on like the higher tier GCSE curriculum. Okay, the next one, 3/10, 30%, that'll be 0.3. Okay, a decimal. Okay, 30 divided by 100 is 0.3, or 3 divided by 10 is 0.3. Either way will give you the same answer. This next one, so decimal to percentage, I times it by 100, so I move it 1, 2 places. So it's going to be 37.5%. Okay, so there is a mistake there. Okay, it should be 37.5%. So ignore that one there. Find the reciprocal of each fraction. So reciprocal just means inverting it. So 1/7 or 1/7 goes to 7/1, which is just the number 7. So the reciprocal of a 7th is 7. Okay, this next one, okay, I flip it upside down or flip it over. Okay, it'd be 6/5. Okay, or 1 1/5. Okay, for this last one, I'm going to change it into an improper fraction. 3 times 4 is 12, plus the 2 goes to 14. So that's 14 thirds. Okay, so it's the same fraction. Okay, flipping that over, I get 3/14. Okay, so that's my answer for this question. So 7, okay, 6/5 and 3/14. There we go. Find the reciprocal of each number. Okay, 0.5 should be 1 over 0.5. Okay, which is equal to 2. Okay, because dividing by 0.5 is the same as doubling your answer. Okay, multiply by 2. Okay, so that will be 2 there. Okay, that's 1 over 1.2. So times top and bottom by 10. So I don't have a decimal point. I get 10 out of 12, which simplifies to 5/6. Okay, the reciprocal of 8 is just 1 over 8. Okay, 1/8. Okay, for this one here, if you're not too sure, here times top and bottom by 10, and you get 10/5, which simplifies to the number 2. Okay, so if you're not too sure about that first step there, times top and bottom by 10, and get the same answer. There we go. Which two of these fractions are equivalent to 2/3? Well, it's not going to be this one. Okay, it's not going to be this one, and it's not going to be this one. So it has to be these two. Okay, so yeah. So this one I've times top and bottom by 4, and this one I've times top and bottom by 12. Okay, there we go. Which two numbers are greater than a half? So bigger than 1/2. Remember that 1/2 is same as saying 0.5 or 50%. So which one is bigger than that? Well, that would be 2/3, okay, and 0.9. Okay, they are both bigger than a half. Okay, it's not a quarter that's smaller than a half. It's not that because that's more than a half, and it's not that because that's more than a half. There we go. So answers for that. Find the difference between 1/5 and 0.9. Well, 0.9 as a fraction will be 9/10. So the difference will be 9/10 or 0.9 take away 1/5. So change 1/5 in terms of tenths. So that'd be 9/10 take away 2/10, which is equal to 7/10. So the difference is equal to 7/10 or 0.7. Okay, either answer will suffice. Okay, for that. Okay, or even 70%. Okay, technically, but yeah, we don't really write a difference here in terms of percentage. 0.7. Show that 1/3 is not equivalent to 30%. Well, 1/3, okay, as a decimal, okay, is 1 divided by 3, which is actually equal to 0.33333333, so on and so forth. Okay, so it goes on forever. It's what I call a reoccurring decimal. Okay, if I times it by 100 to change to a percentage, okay, so move it 2 places to the right, I get 33.3, okay, 3, okay, dot, 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 okay, so it's 33.3 reoccurring, and I denote that with a dot to show that it's repeating, okay, or recurring percent, okay, that's clearly not equal to 30%, okay, it's close to it, but it's not equal to it, okay, it has to obviously be equal, so that's not equal to 30%. Okay, or conversely, I could have said, well, 30% is equal to 3/10, and 3/10 does not equal to 1/3. Okay, if you compare the size of it, okay, for that. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so there is the answer for that one. Okay, so they did it with my other method, or the latter method. Write these in order, starting with the smallest. Okay, so I've got your decimals, fractions, percentages. Okay, I'm going to change everything into decimals to make it a bit easier. So that'll be 0.3. That'll be 0.5 as a decimal, divide that by 100. And here I did 3 divided by 10 to get 0.3. This one, I'm going to do 9 divided by 20. Okay, so working this out using a bus stop method, if we're not too sure. So 20s into 9 I can't do. I'm going to put a decimal point. This point carry the 0. So 20s into 90 go 4 times with 10 left over. 20s into 100 go 5 times. So it's 0.45. Okay. So putting this in order of size, it will be 3/10 first. Okay. Oh no, sorry, 0.1 first. I apologize. Okay. So always take your time with this, guys. Then it's 0.4. Then it's 9/20. Then it's 50%. Okay. So always take your time, guys. Okay. Please don't rush here like I've done here. Okay. So take your time with it, please. Okay. And I've seen this appear here all the time on like a typical foundation tier, okay, Edexcel paper here in particular, and even OCR and AQA. But Edexcel, I think, has come out most often, these sort of questions. There we go. Again, writing these in order of size, starting with the smallest. So this time I'm going to change into a decimal here to make it easier. So that'll be 0.41. That'll be 0.42. Okay, if you times top and bottom by 2, it gives you 42 hundredths. 42 divided by 100 is 0.42. That's equal to 0.375. Okay, 3 divided by 8. And this one is 0.35. Okay, when you work it out. Okay, so smallest is 0.32. Then it's 7/20. Then it's 3/8. Then it's 41%. Then it's 21/50. Okay, there we go. This next one, so writing these in order of size. Okay, yeah, giving you lots of practice on this today, guys. Okay, so change it all into decimals. That will be 0.25. That's 0.2. Okay, that'll be 0.04. So be careful when you divide that by 100. And this is 0.24. Okay, so working these out, so taking my time, it's 4% first, because that's the smallest. Oh no, sorry, this time it says greatest, sorry, yeah, sorry about that, so it starts with greatest first, sorry. So this one will actually appear right at the end, 4%, okay, so cross that off. The biggest one will be 0.3, then it'll be a quarter, then it'll be 0.24 or 0.24, then 1/5, and then finally 1/4. Okay, just leave that there, put a comma there. Okay, question. Okay, so always read the question carefully, guys. There we go. Right, these in descending order. So descending here means from largest to smallest. Okay, ascending is smallest to biggest. So this time I'll put it as a decimal. That's equal to 1.4. That's equal to 1.45. So being very careful here. That's equal to 1.5. And this one, it is going to be 0 point to me. I actually have to work it out, but it's more than 1 because it is what I call a proper fraction. When the numerator is smaller than the denominator. So the biggest one is going to be 3/2. Then it's going to be 145%. Then it's going to be 1 2/5. Then it's going to be 1.25. And it's going to be 152 hundredths. Work out these, give me your answer to the nearest penny. Okay, now I'm gonna cheat here a bit actually because I want to obviously save time actually. So I'm gonna do it on a calculator. Okay, so this essentially is doing 0.135 multiplied by £87. Okay, so doing this on the calculator, like I appreciate that I am being a bit lazy here, but yeah, it's like a revision video actually. So I don't want to spend a lot of time, working it out when you know how to obviously work it out. So that gives me £11.74 okay, with a 5. Okay, so rounding it to the nearest penny is £11.75. Okay, this next one, being very careful, I'm going to be doing, okay, 0.0, so 125 times 496. Okay, so taking the time very carefully, guys, taking the time with this. Okay, 0.0125 times 496. That gives me £6, £6.20. Okay, for that. Okay, it says 6.2 here, yeah, so 6.2 same as saying £6.20. Okay, remember that obviously point two means obviously that. Okay, there we go. There we go. Determine which is greater, 65% of 240 or 9/11ths of 187. So working this out, so working out this one first, divide by the bottom times by the top. So 187 divided by 11 on my calculator is 17, times 9 is 153 for that one. And then doing this on my calculator, okay, sorry that I'm doing it on my calculator, guys, I apologize, hopefully you can forgive me. That'll be 0.65 times 240, which is 156. So which is greater? It's going to be this one. There we go. Work out 4/7 of 18, giving the answer to three significant figures. So divide by the bottom and then times by the top. This is what I call a fraction of an amount, guys. Okay, divide by the bottom times by the top. So 18 divided by 7 and then times by 4, rounding it to three significant figures. That'll be 10.3, because writing it out on my calculator is 10.2857143. That's my first figure, second significant figure, third one. So look at the number after. Okay, that's 5 or more, so I'm going to round this one to a 3, which is 10.3. There we go. Rosie is paid £720 a month. She receives a pay increase of 2.5% or 2.5%. So how much will Rosie, sorry, determine how much will Rosie get paid? I think it should be or how much Rosie is paid per month after the increase. Okay, so I'm going to multiply this essentially by 102.5%, okay, because it's an increase. So I'm going to multiply it by 102.5%. Now, rather than write it as a percentage, I'm going to multiply it by a decimal multiplier. So I'm going to multiply it by 1.025, 720. So 720 times 1.025 on my calculator comes out as £738. So she will be getting £738, okay, after the 2.5% pay increase. Okay, so essentially, that has given her an extra £18. Okay, so read it carefully. So an extra £18, okay, each month, okay, to take home. There we go. A new car costs £28,000. In a sale, the price of the car is reduced by 12.5%. Okay, calculate the sale price of the car. So I'm gonna be careful here. So I'll do it like a little bar model. So I've got 100% here, guys. Okay, I'm taking off 12.5%. Okay, so I'm taking off 12.5%, which means that the remainder is what I pay. So I'm gonna be paying this bit. Okay, let's here. So the remainder is 87.5%. Okay, is that right? Can I just double check? Sorry, 12.5. Yeah, 87.5. Okay, percent. Okay, so I'm gonna multiply this, okay, by the decimal equivalent to this percentage, which is going to be 0.875. Now, working this out, okay, on my calculator, okay, 0.875 multiplied by 28,000, I get £24,500. Okay, for that. Okay, there we go. Estimate 38% of 50,400. Okay, so if I'm estimating, then I'm going to round each number to one sig fig, so one significant figure. So that'll be approximately 40% of 50,000. Okay, roughly. Okay, it is not obviously asking you to actually work out the actual sum. Okay, this one's a bit more easier to see, work out the estimate of. 10% will be 5,000. So yeah, it is going to be 4 lots of 5,000. So 5,000 times 4, which is equal to 20,000. So this is equal to approximately 20,000. Okay, that. So that is the same answer. Okay, remember that 2/5 is the same as saying 40%. Okay, they divided it by 5 and then times by 2, which gave the same answer as what I did. Express 240 out of 4,800 as a percentage, so that'd be 240 out of 4,800. Okay, so let's just cancel it first a bit. So that's going to be 24 over 480. Now, if I take my time, guys, okay, 24 out of 48, okay, that's equal to a half, okay, because 24 is half of 48. Okay, so that will be equal to 50%. Okay, but the denominator here is 10 times smaller, so that's actually going to equal to 5% because it's 10 times smaller than this. Okay, from here to here, I've times it by 10, but my final answer gets divided by 10. Okay, so that's how I get the 5%. There we go. Ron buys a new car for £13,200. The value of the car decreases 16% each year. Calculate the value of Ron's car after 2 years. So I'm going to do 13,200 multiplied by 0.84 times 0.84 because it's 2 years. That'll be after 1 year. That'll be after the second year. Okay. Or times by 0.84 squared. Okay. Or to the power of 2. Okay. So 13,200 times 0.84 times 0.84, and we get 9,000, okay, £313 and 92 pence for that. Okay, okay. If you're not sure where 0.84s come from, so I took off 16%, so the remainder, okay, is the value of it. So the remainder will be 84%. Okay. So, it is going down by that each time, which means that, yeah, that is the amount remaining, okay, after the decrease. Okay, 84% as a decimal, okay, is 0.84, because it's 84 hundredths, which goes to 0.84 as a decimal, okay, dividing it by 100, okay, from a percentage to a decimal. There we go. Decide if these statements are true or false. Well, that's true, yes, so that is true, okay, because a half times 1/8 equals 1/16, and on the right hand side, 1/8 times a half is equal to 1/16, so 1/16 equals 1/16, that is true. Okay, what about this one? Well, I'm going to get 24 when I work this out, and I'm also going to get 24, so that is true. Okay, for this one, well, a half times a half times a half is actually 1/8. 1/8 does not equal 1/6. Okay, so it does not. Okay, so therefore that's false. Okay, because 1/8 does not equal 1/6. Okay, that's what we call false. Okay, there we go. Tommy scored 40% in a test. Danny scored 25 out of 60 in the same test. Who did better in the test? Okay, so Tommy's score will be 40 out of 100. Okay, which simplifies to 2/5. Danny's score is going to be 25 out of 60. So dividing top and bottom, okay, so I get it out of 5. Okay, so this is where, yeah, I'm going to be a bit careful here. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to get a whole answer on the top. Okay, but I'm going to get 2 point something. Okay, because yeah, 12 into 25 go twice with 1 left over. So yeah, that'll actually be 2.04. Okay, which is, yeah, slightly higher than that one. Okay, if you compare it. So Danny actually did a bit better on the test. Okay, but only, yeah, very like marginally better. Okay, so Danny did better on the test. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, Danny did better. Okay, so there's more than one way, yeah, to work out your answer. Okay, this next question: there are 60 passengers on a train. 2/3 of them passengers are going to work. 1/4 of the passengers are going to school. The rest is going home. How many passengers are going home? Well, if I work out as a fraction, so 2/3 plus 1/4, that will tell me the number of people, or tell me the fraction that are traveling all together. Sorry. So yeah, so common denominator. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 times 1, which is going to be 3, out of the product of these two. Here, so what I've done here is I've done cross multiplication. Sorry, 3/4 are 12. So that'll give me 11/12, which means that 1/12 of them are going home. Okay, so 1/12 going home. So 1/12 of 60 means 60 divided by 12. Okay, which is 5. Okay, and then times it by 1 makes it 5. Okay, so 5 passengers are going home. Okay, on a train. Now, 11/20 of the books in the library are written in English. 37% of the books are written in French. The rest of the books are written in Spanish. Work out the fraction of the books that are written in Spanish. Give your answer in its simplest form. Okay, so work out the fraction of the books that are written in Spanish. So that'll be 37 hundredths. Okay, or this, yeah, or this is actually 55%. Okay, so I'm going to have 37 plus 55. 7 plus 5 is 12, so 2 carry the 1. That will give me 9. Okay, so 92% here is written. Until so far, the rest of them, okay, so remember that percentage, yeah, adds up to 100%. So 100 take away 92 is equal to 8. Okay, so it'd be 8%. 8% as a fraction, so 8%, yeah, of the books are written in Spanish. 800ths. Divide top and bottom by 4, and I get 2/25. Okay, because it says give your answer in its simplest form. So that'll be the answer for that question. Okay, so there we go. Okay, Amir spent 30% of his salary on bills last year. He spent 3/8 of his salary on rent, 1/4 of his salary on entertainment. Amir saved the rest of his salary. Amir spent £4,200 on rent. Work out how much money Amir saved. Okay, so 3/8 of it, okay, will be equal to 4,200 pounds. Okay, that means 1/8 will be equal to this number divided by 3, which gives you 1,400 pounds. Okay, right. So now that we know how much 1/8 is, okay, so 1/4 is same as saying 2/8. So he spent, okay, this amount of money on entertainment. He spent this amount of money on his rent. Okay, and he spent 30% of his salary, okay, on bills. So 30%, so that'll be equal to 3/10. Now we need to know how much money that is. Okay, so working this out, yeah, so taking our time here. So change it to a fraction out of 80, times that by 8, times that by 8. That'll be 24/80. Okay, so 1/80 based on this, sorry, will equal to £140. So that means 24/80 will be 24 lots of this. Okay, so we can now take that to 24. It should be 80th, sorry, not 8th. So working this out, 140 times 24 is £3,360. Okay, so over here, it's making sense so far. Okay, so the remainder now, okay, so the remainder, so if I do 3/10 plus 3/8 plus 1/4, okay, that'll tell me how much money he spent altogether. Well, that's 0.3, so 0.3 plus 0.375 plus 0.25, so it's 0.925, so that'll be 92, yeah, 0.5 out of 100. Okay, so the remainder, so 0.925. So the remainder of that, guys, so one takeaway 0.925 is 0.075. Okay, so that is the amount, yeah, that he saved. Okay, ignore the arrow there. So that'll be 75 thousandths. Okay, and simplifying this, we'll divide top and bottom by 25, I believe. You're going to get 3 out of 40. Okay, so we're going to be very careful now. So make it out of 80 so I can start comparing the values. So that'll be 6/80. Well, 1/80th is going to be 140. So 6/80th or 6/80ths will be 6 lots of 140. 140 times 6, and I get 840 when I work it out. So he saved £840. Okay. So we got there in the end, guys. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, this question, guys. In the shop, the normal price of a phone is £180. The shop has a sale. On the first day, the price is reduced here by 15%. Okay, so on day one, okay, it's that. On the second day, the price is reduced by a further 1/3. Okay, Annie has £102. Determine if Annie has enough money to buy the coat. I think it's meant to say phone there, but okay. On the second day of the sale. Okay, so first of all, at the end of the first day, okay, I'm going to do 180 multiplied by 0.85. So 180 times 0.85. I mean, £153. So the end of day one, guys, just to be clear, at the end of day one, okay, it's 153. So that means on day two, it is starting on. So yeah, he's going to be taking a third off this amount, okay? So yeah, he's reduced by a further 1/3. So I'm going to multiply 153 by 2/3, okay? Because that is the remainder, okay? So working this out, yeah, taking our time. 153 divided by 3, that'll be 51. Double of 51 is 102, okay? So the answer is yes. Annie does have enough money. So Annie actually has the exact amount of money, okay, to buy the phone or coat, okay, at the end of day two or on the second day of the sale, okay? Okay, so here, yeah, I think again, actually, yeah, I think some printing mistakes on the reverse side. Yeah, so the answer is yes. Actually, yeah, I think yes, a mistake there. So the answer is yes, okay, because yeah, it's printed out as £100 there, okay. In a sale, the price of a coat has been reduced by 15%. The sale price of the coat is £255. Well, so work out the original. Okay, so I've got the original, which I'm going to call X. I'm going to times that by 0.85. Okay, because it's reduced, yes, so reduced, so I'm going to times it by the remainder, and that has to equal to 255. Now, rearranging this equation, dividing both sides by 0.85, that will tell me what the original is, okay? Based on this question, okay, the original, yeah, is going to be higher than the sale price, okay? Yeah, because, yeah, essentially it's going backwards, isn't it? Okay, so dividing by decimal makes my answer bigger, which does in turn confirm my answer to 255 divided by 0.85 is £300, not 300. And then stick a pound sign there. Okay. So the original price of the coat was £300. Okay, and you can check 300 multiplied by 0.85 indeed gives you 255. Okay, on your calculator. So it confirms my answer for that question. Okay. There we go. In a sale, the price of trainers is reduced by a quarter. The sale price is £82.50. Find the original price. Okay. So I'm going to do X times 3/4. Okay, because I've taken a quarter off. That has to equal to £82.50. Divide both sides by 3/4. Okay. Dividing by 3/4 here is the same as multiplying by 4/3. Okay. So 82.50 times 4/3, and that will give you your answer. Okay, so essentially same as dividing by 3 and then timesing by 4. Okay, so it's going to be £110. Okay, and if you check your answer, 110 times the reduction, which will be 3/4, 110 times 3/4. Okay, just do it on your calculator. 110 times 3/4 is indeed £82.50. Okay, for that. There we go. The population of an ant colony increases by 10% in a year. So yeah, every year, yeah, it is 10% larger. The colony is now this amount. Okay, how many ants were there a year ago? Okay, so here I've got X times. Now, if it increases, yeah, it's what I call a percentage increase. So yeah, times 1.1 is equal to 651,200. Okay, so this time my original answer here is going to be smaller. Okay, because when I times a smaller answer by 1.1, that will give me this answer here. Okay, so rearrange this, divide by 1.1 on both sides to balance the equation, okay, respectively. So divide by 1.1, okay, so dividing both sides by 1.1 to isolate it and get x by itself, okay. So again, working this out on our calculator, divided by 1.1 gives me the answer of 592,000, okay. So a year ago, okay, there were 592,000, okay, based on this question, okay? And you times that by 1.1 on your calculator, it does indeed give you 651,200, okay, ants, okay, okay, there we go. Right, guys. Yeah, so I think it is the last question here for today's video. So sorry, yeah, it is quite a long video today, but hopefully you are able to dip it in and out of here as and when you need to. Okay, Alex goes to work by bus. The cost of her monthly bus ticket increases by 22.5% to this amount. Okay, work out the cost of her monthly ticket before the increase. So I'm gonna be dividing this, okay, by. So if it increases, okay, so think about it like a bar model, okay, if you're ever unsure, and then you got plus the 22.5%. So you got 122.5% altogether. Okay, as a decimal, that's going to be 1.225. So dividing this by 1.225 will give you the cost of a ticket before the increase, which is £90. Okay. So it used to cost her £90 before this percentage increase, okay? For part B, Alex has a voucher for 1/3 of the price, okay, of the monthly bus ticket, okay? So again, yeah, he's thinking about this number here, okay, to be clear. So find how much, yeah, Alex's monthly bus ticket costs, okay? So yeah, so it's 1/3 of this, okay? So essentially, I'm going to be multiplying this number by 2/3. Divide by the denominator times by the numerator. So 110.25 divided by 3 and then times by 2, and I get £73.50. Okay, for that. Okay, so that's how much it now costs. Okay, for that. Okay. Here is the White Rose Maths answers. Okay. Right, guys, that's the end of today's long video here, revising fractions, decimal, and percentages. Okay, again, feel free to obviously rewatch it and read it back into it, okay, as and when you need to for your summer preparation for your GCSE higher and foundation. Okay, hopefully you found it useful, hopefully you found it informative. If you did, please like, please comment, please share, and please subscribe, and I'll see you all inside the next revision video. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye for now. Take care, guys. All the best.